Hey, welcome everyone. This is Bigfoot. Today we're gonna attempt to do a full deep clean on a PlayStation 4. And I believe, let's see, this is the 1001A model, the original PS4. Alright, go ahead and get started by sliding this over, lifting it up, getting it out of the way. There's the hard drive. We're going to replace that because it was corrupt, or at least it says it was, and it was giving a lot of blue screen, a lot of trouble. I tried rebuilding it and formatting it a couple times, and it wasn't having it. And we will be replacing it with a 1 terabyte. It's a upgrade from the original 500 gigabyte that's in there. Now first we're going to want to take this screw out, and that will allow us access to the hard drive. I'm using an ifixit toolkit. I also have a bottle of 90% isopropyl alcohol and a couple brushes to clean and scrub it around, and some new thermal paste for the CPU. And I even have some different sized thermal pads in case any of those are in there that might need to be replaced. Let's go ahead and get this started. Alright, just that one screw is all we need to remove this old hard drive. And then there's 4 screws, 2 on each side of the case for it. Now it just slides right out. The new one, oh, it's all nasty. The new one, as you can see, is a perfect fit into the old, like a glove, like it was made for it. Even the screw holes on the side line up perfect. But we're gonna clean that first before we use that. Before we clean that, we're gonna go ahead and disassemble the rest of this. I'm going to flip it to this back side. There's 4 small covers. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to remove those stickers. And then there's screws behind them that we're going to remove that hold the shell onto this PlayStation. Oh, that one flew halfway across the room. Screw size here. We're gonna go with the T8. So you have an idea of what you're looking for? T8 for those back 4. I think we'll flip this back over to the top. And then there's these screws on top here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We'll remove those 7 next. Alright, so I think I'm going to flip this open. It might be easier. Just move it. Oh, perfect. Yeah, you just pull up on these 2 edges here in the back, and the bottom comes right off. Goodness, look how nasty that is. Ugh. Dust all over the place. That fan. Dust bunnies are reproducing inside this machine. Alright, since I got that side off so nicely, doesn't look like I can pull off the back. I'm going to try pulling off the front and all the outer screws off. As you can see, I didn't break anything, did I hope not. It's loose. It's kind of caught back here. There we go. Push it back a little bit. Dust. Nasty. I've had this PlayStation 4 since they were released, so had it quite a while. First time I've ever opened it up. Let's keep going. Power supply. Screw here and a screw here. And they're just regular Phillips. Wiggle it a little bit, but it comes out. Ooh, that's a long one. Shouldn't have a problem remembering where that goes. And there's the second one. Looks like a screw here, a screw here. These all look to be that, yeah, it's that T8 security torque. It's gotta have that little hole in the center of the bit. There we go. Not sure why it was stuck. Now there's one cable right there. Alright, there we go. Those pliers, grab the sides, wiggle and pull. There we go. No problem. I do believe in order to remove this drive, we're gonna need to remove this cable and that cable. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. I'm gonna go around this side, and we will take off the APU clamp. It's just got the 2 Phillips head screws. It's these unique looking ones. The clamp to the side. And then I believe this is the fan connector. Proper way to get this off, get something underneath it. So I'm just going to use the one side of the tweezers and get under the gray part and straight up with it. Just like that. It doesn't look like I damaged anything. It looks good. A little dusty with everything else. Other than that, I believe we need to go around and remove these screws. We removed the first 7 earlier. Now I believe there's what? 7, yeah. 7 more. And that will be with that T8 security torques. Get everything. There we go. Oh man, look at that. Toasty. It's old thermal pads. Look at all that dust. Just piling up on there. Nasty. Good cleaning will do this thing good. I believe we can lift this board up, and as long as we avoid this lip, come out with it. Don't think there's anything holding it down yet. Okay, got it out now. Board doesn't look too bad. Very dusty. Oh, nasty. Remove this backing plate here. I believe I see 1, 2, 3 screws. These ones look like this. Now we lift this and kind of just wiggle it out. So the back side of this has this nice little cooling unit. And then we just have this dirty old fan. Ugh, that is nasty. Got a screw here and a screw right here. Another small pan head. Looks to be the same as the backing plate screws. And we'll just lift this. And then slide this plate up with it. There we go. Now we have this nasty piece of work. Clean that up so that way we can get some some nice fresh air in there. Look at all that nastiness. Isn't that gross? I believe all that's left to do is remove the CD drive. First, we're going to take these 3 T8s out. So next, I'm going to push down on this metal tab right here and wiggle this cable back and forth. That releases the 2 ears on the side of this cable. And then we have this other wire from the CD drive here that is blocking the view. So pull that out just like so. Just wiggle on that plastic back and forth until she pulls out. And then you'll have access to that screw. So now we should only have to get this screw down here with the T8, and I believe we gotta pull this off and get this Wi-Fi wire out of the way. And then there's one screw up here that's Phillips. Am I missing any? Oh, there it comes. Alright, there's the disk drive. Hey look, I wonder what game's in there. Can you guess? All that's left is this plastic shell. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything thoroughly cleaned with 91% and 99% isopropyl alcohol. I'll be wiping off all the dust with the brushes, trying to get every crook and corner and crevices, and then we will be installing this new 1 terabyte hard drive, and well, hopefully when I put everything back together it works. Only one way to find out though. Let's get to it. There she is, all laid out and disassembled. Now to get all this nasty stuff cleaned up so I can get her back together and hopefully back to gaming again. Alright, so we're going to attempt to put this PlayStation together. Never done this before. The fan gets installed first, so we'll do that. And I know that goes right here, and there was only 2 screws holding it in. I remember that it was a smaller Phillips. Look, they even have little arrows telling you where they want the screw to go. Right, next I believe take this small radiator with the metal shroud. That'll go on next. Cables out the way. 3 screws in this one, and those also have little arrows in it. 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Then put in next. So now I think I'm going to put the disk drive in. That just goes right back in here. Now I gotta wiggle that back and forth a bit, and I believe there's 5 screws to it. Oh, I think it's in there. If I remember correctly, 1 Phillips head in the front here, and then there's what, T8 screw, 1 here, 1 here, 1 there, and 1 right here. Get them in next. Ah, shoot. Let's put this cable in first. There, and just kind of push that in with a plastic poker tool. See that down in there? Now we can put this thing on. In there good. So if you're like me, you might have not noticed until now that this screw for the disk drive holds that Wi-Fi cable in place. So I should probably put that on here first. Perfect. So now, flip this over. I do believe I'm going to be putting on the motherboard next. First, I'm going to have to make sure that that gets the right amount of thermal paste, and that each one of these thermal pads are still where they're supposed to be. And they are. They're all still there. Dry fit this. Make sure that when I go in, it'll go in easy. Alright, perfect. It looks like everything fits. So I'll go ahead and get this back out and then apply some. Won't apply some, I'll apply the perfect amount of thermal paste. Time to apply the perfect amount of thermal paste. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and try and get this bad baby in here. Well, I think I'm where I'm supposed to be everywhere. Everything's lining up. The next thing we put on would be this back side. It's acts kind of like a clamp. You know, it helps distribute the heat, but you also put this on and you push down with the clamp, and it helps press the thermal paste and the thermal pads up against those chips. Very essential. Just kind of sets on there nice and easy. And then, gotta get our clamp. Make sure that it's bowed upward. Alright, now we just get the Phillips and screw it in. Screw it in a couple turns, hop over the other one, and just kind of go back and forth until it goes down evenly. Alright, now that those two are tight, we will go around the perimeter and put in the T8 screws that are meant to go back in. They all have little arrows on the metal letting you know. 12 of them, once again, and it'll be that T8. Alright, so now that those 12 screws are in, we can go ahead and we can install this cable here. Let's see. There we go. Just presses in nicely. Now I believe we can put this part on. Looks like it's supposed to be there. Two screws that hold this down. Apparently this is one of them. I'm going to take the brand new 1 terabyte hard drive. Slide it in the case, and then remember to put these 4 black Phillips head bits in there. These look like that, once again. Slide this in. Alright, and then make sure and grab that large fat Phillips that holds it in and screw that down. There we go. Suppose we could put this on while we're over here. And we'll flip it upside down so that way we can get everything together over here. We gotta plug this cable in as well as this cable. Make sure and take this wire and tuck it under the cable so it helps to push it to the side. And remember that go into here, but you're going to want to push that metal tab down as you're pushing in that ribbon cable. And this will go right into there. And this will go right back into there. Don't forget, after this, we gotta put the power in, so we need to connect this cable as well. Let's see. Turn this upside down. And you might want to tuck these wires in there. I believe. Just put these in next. Long power supply. Cheers. Tab facing inward. Tab facing inward. Nice and tight. And we got T8 screws. Alright, now we just got to put those last 4 screws in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are those T8 torque spits. Well, it's all back together. I didn't do that last time, so we must be doing something right. Sweet. Went to PlayStation.com to get the USB stick filled with the software for the right PlayStation.
My moon is so good.
Look at that. It's already automatically starting to set up. Beautiful.